Hello, this message is for Taurus. We're going to take a look and see if your person misses you. Do they miss you? All right, let's open the opening energy. Divine may have three best cards. No place like home. No peace like home. Oh, even better. Okay, all right. No peace like home. To be fair and poised. Nice. Okay. So, in terms of do they miss you, I'm looking for the aspect of whether it's physical distance or emotional distance in terms of do they miss you. So, this is a partnership that's already going and in action, but there is some type of distance between you, emotional or physical. Okay. So, that being said, no peace like home is their mindset, right? So, yes, darling, and they miss you in the best ways. This energy of no peace like home. Look at the picture, how it's above, and um, interesting. I got the vision of somebody offshore drilling, off maybe they're a rigger. Okay. Or they travel a lot for work and they have to be away a lot. And think about an over the road driver, maybe just giving examples in terms of this is about physical distance, whatever the case may be. Okay, in terms of this distance that you guys have, it appears to be something more so the energy of physical distance, and that also creates an emotional distance too, because you cannot pour into each other the way that you normally would just by being each other's presence, just by seeing each other, just by being around each other, doing the kind of things that just give each other calming energy and reassurance about you're not alone in the world. Um, at the center to be fair, but to be fair to both of you in terms of what your goals are and what you're looking to reach and accomplish with each other, this separation had to happen. This distancing had to happen in order to achieve a goal. Now, it could be the person went off to do something in terms of schooling or work or travel that had to be done because it furthers them and their life path and their lifestyle and their goals and what they want. And this will make them a better person for themselves and for you. Okay. And so it's a fair exchange. It's not something that they did selfishly or it was about being self-absorbed. It feels like you both were well aware of what was going to happen, what needed to be done, but the effects of it, of course, you couldn't really see. The crystal ball wasn't given that clear. You didn't know that you would have this deep longing for each other as well. So that was it's probably a little bit overwhelming right now, especially if you're kind of towards the beginning of the separation, the distance from each other. And then we have poised. However, you both are remaining very true and poised to what you said you were going to do in each other's absence. In other words, you're making the phone calls, you're writing the letters, keeping up with the responsibilities that you said that you would do. You're staying true to one another, both emotionally and physically. So there's you're not seeking comfort in anyone else. Um, but the physical distance, it feels like this is about that. It's really like I can feel it. It's like it's a sadness, it's a loneliness. Okay, so let's get into some details here of what you need to help you with this time of separation, what you both, how you can support each other. Some of you have concern or worry for their safety too while they're away. It's like, what will happen if this is, and vice versa. Like, they're also concerned for yours. Like, yeah. Okay, so Divine Man have 6 cards. More clarity. Open energy, please. More details. Strength in reverse. Fool. Hermit. Ten of Swords in reverse. King of Wands and the Devil. Okay. So messages coming through were to remember that you were both in agreement with this. and that you both agree to this. Okay, that's just something to you did this as a team, as a partnership. You made this decision and choice together. Okay, and so again, the only thing that you guys couldn't see was how the feelings, how those feelings were gonna come in. But that's okay because this is actually, you're at the beginning of it. Okay, and that and being that from speaking from personal experience, um, my former husband was Air Force, and our first year of marriage, he was in a non-attended station. So we got married, and then he went off to his station, and we were separated for a year. And this was that time when, given to my age, the internet wasn't the internet. Okay, so it was letters. It was a few $1,000 phone bills. Like, it was a lot, but and it was the first 3 to 4 months were, honey, they were agonizing. But we agreed and we stayed focused, and I got some really, really great gifts. Child, oh wait. Was like so happy to go to the mailbox, child, get my little letter, say I got a package. It was all the time. So there are benefits, okay? Okay, and it strengthened us really, really well. And we're still, we still boss to this day. But now, that was just to give you a little bit of, like, you can do it. You can do it, honey. You can do it. Okay, you both can do it. Now, the strength card in reverse is where you feel a bit, you really do understand how much you guys lean on each other and depend on each other in the absence here. You feel like a part of you is missing. There's a bit of your strength is being waned. And it's actually just you feeling a bit weakened by not being able to have them physically in your presence and vice versa. The Fool card is here, though, but you both knew that this leap of faith had to be taken because, one, you wanted to see you wanted to see your person happy and fulfilling a purpose and something, a drive that they wanted, that they have ambition here. And when they brought this idea to you, like this card, you could just see how excited they were. And, this is going to be great for us. And, once I get on this track, I do this work, I did this training, then we'll be able to do whatever we want to do. We can live where we want to live. I'll have like say they were going to become a journeyman or whatever the case may be. They were doing like longshore, offshore, was it Mara? Was it longshoreman? Something like that. Working the international docks, whatever the case may be. It's escaping me now, but it's that kind of thing, right? And the benefits and the all the different things that when they get on this path, it's nothing. It's just going to be up from here. However, the first part, it just seems like it's so long because, again, you guys have never had this type of distance before you. But you must remember, it's not something. It's not futile. It's with heavy, serious, awesome purpose that you're doing this. The Hermit card is here. Now it's time for you to go into a place of reflection for yourself, and see what you want to do while you have this time, because with them being away, if you fill your time with things that are also helping you to become better, utilizing that time where you would normally be with them, but you're using it in their stead as purposefully as they're doing with theirs. When they're absent from you, when they come back, they'll have a new, you'll have a new take on things as well too. You'll have achieved some things, whatever those things are for you. So it's time to reflect on that and sit back and think, now that I have a little more free time, what's something that I can do? Is there a course I've been wanting to take? Are there some, whatever the case may be, what can I do to utilize and do that time and build myself up to, for my personal purpose and gain, as well as that's going to be great for us. We'll both have stories to tell, okay, of triumph and exciting stories to tell. Ten of Swords in reverse. Just here, there's no need to have any mental anguish. Um, as when you do come into the space of feeling sad, there is, this look off into the sunset of knowing that soon you guys will be back together again. Like, if you have a calendar, you see how people mark off the days, like, mark off the days till it gets to the day, like, oh, they're back. And one day at a time. Okay, but no, there's nothing indicating that there'll be any end. You shouldn't have any mental anguish about this, because you know that they're off becoming better, doing better, and that you guys are in constant conversation and contact. It's just not the same because they're not here. And when you're done, it's like, it's the loneliness. It's knowing that you're going to have an hour or two to talk, and then, then it's quiet again. The nights are getting, your days are, don't have enough hours in them, and the nights have too many, right? The King of Wands here is where they're off and they're conquering well, and you not bringing in, only giving them energy of how much you respect them, how proud you are of them, is really giving them that mental boost and strength that they need. And it helps them get through some of their toughest times. So it's okay to let them know. If some of you, may feel like, I shouldn't say anything about I'm missing them, it's not fair to them. No, it's really what they need to hear. They need to hear that you miss them, that whatever, little things that come up that remind you of them, whatever it is, to let them know that you really do appreciate what they're off doing, and you're proud of them, and you also understand you, but you're also like, but I miss you so much. It's like, I was doing this, I was like, oh my God, I was getting ready to say, like, we'll go do this weekend, and I realized that you weren't here, and it's like, but we'll be back together soon. And it spurs them on and gives them energy and allows them to focus when they're at their darkest moments, when they're by themselves too. Okay, the Devil card is here. Don't allow yourself to go down the dark path, okay, with your loneliness. Like, remember, the statement was that your nights have too many. There may be someone around you that's trying to tempt you into doing something, into distracting you, that they know this person is absent. Now, it could be someone who has been salivating this entire time, and they have an ulterior motive here, because Devil, the card, does not in any way fit with the rest of this energy. So it's definitely a person that is trying to try to get you to move in the shadows in this person's absence. Possibly they are jealous of your partner, and they want to prove that they can take you away from them in some type of way. They're trying to somehow impose themselves on you, like, oh, well, hey, if you need anything, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, I'm good. They're always trying to figure out a way to be in your presence in some kind of way. So let's see here. More information on this Devil card. Ace of Swords in reverse, yeah. They're trying to confuse you and get you in a space of where you're vulnerable and you're missing them, and they want you to just kind of like sneak attack, okay? Like old story, old con, old game. Oh, if I can get you you can transpose the energy on me, I'll get you to break, and then blah blah blah. Like, trying to prove this point. Probably are jealous of your lover. This may be a friend of theirs, okay? And they've never really had anyone steady. Like, this may be someone that somehow you guys are your circle of friends here, but they've never had anyone steady, and you guys and your person have been constantly moving and growing and getting better, especially because when you started dealing with this person's friend, or your partner, they were friends with this person and they were on the same wavelength. But when they started dealing with you, they automatically just decided to keep leveling up. And now this person is not on the same level as your partner now, because the two of you all pour into each other so well, and it just, they have the support that they need. Someone's always looking at them and saying, like, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. We can work a plan. And you guys just work together. You're building. And because your partner does the same for you. So it's like you guys have just been done nothing but keep getting better and leveling up. And you've had your challenges and whatever the case may be, but you always meet them and exceed them and make them better for yourself. And this person they want a taste of that, right? They don't realize that your partner is active in doing the work too. Like, you're not the golden goose, right? You're an inspiration. You're the muse for it, right? But you're not the only reason. They have to do the work. They're supported, and now they want a piece of that for themselves. They want to drink from the fountain, okay? But remember, this person, no, Ace of Swords in reverse, no. All right. So don't let them distract you. They're not a friend. They're not friends. They're not your friend. They're not your lover's friend, and they're not a friend to you. Their energy is not moving that way right now anyway. All right, so let's get into it. The effect. What's the effect this is having on you? Divine, may I have 5 best cards, please, for the effect? 4 wands in reverse. Judgment in reverse. Temperance in reverse. Ace of Wands upright. And the 5 of Swords in reverse. Okay. So, whatever it is that you're feeling in terms of missing this person, and you're saying to yourself, I don't want to tell them these things because I don't want them feeling bad when they're away. It's not going to have that effect. So with the first thing I saw with this Ace of Wands coming out here is that, you're horny. Sometimes the best way to say it is just to say it. You're horny. And, y'all, again, it's a great vibe. It's a great relationship. So y'all don't have no problems in any room in the house. Tick, tick. Okay. So, and that's the most funnest room in the house. The funnest room in the house is where the magic happens. And right now, yeah, you're missing your daily dose. You need them vitamin D. You need your vitamins and your minerals. And, this is day 30 of 180. And good God, I got to do 150 more days as example. Can you do this? Of course you can. Think about when you get back together. I hope you're taking some time off. That's what you need to do. You need to be preparing. Let me get this PTO together. Let me take this vacation. When they get back, because we're not trying to do a 3-day weekend here, okay? We need about 7-10 days. Okay? Start when that energy hits, let them know, I'm missing my daily dose, but darling, I hope you're ready. When you get back, you better be rested. Okay? Focus on what you can control, and that you can, okay? The time that y'all come back together, the reunion. Now, this 5 of Swords in reverse, Temperance in reverse. Notice what's at the center of that. That's why you're losing that patience, because that you need to scratch that itch. Time to self-soothe. Okay? Time to just get into your fantasy space and think about remind yourself of what went on between the two of you all and soothe yourself. Take care of yourself. There is no substitute for the real thing. Okay? You hear me? The 5 of Swords in reverse. Don't try to be planning and strategizing and stuff, and then you find yourself in a snare, because everything, this person, the connection is very powerful. The divine is not going to allow y'all to be, the right hand ain't going to know what the left hand is doing. It's going to be felt. Y'all have a specific energy signature and wavelength between you. They're going to know. They're going to be able to tell by your tone, how you're responding. That guilt going to come up, and it's going, oh my God, yeah, everything's okay. You sure? Yeah, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. And then, then the network of spies will begin. Hey man, my feeling like something's off. Can you just keep an eye on things for me, make sure everything cool? Yeah, bro, I got you, no problem. Or their relative or sister, somebody. Hey, can you check on? They gonna know. So don't. It will pass. It will pass. And every time you think about it if they were doing the same, and how you're gonna feel. Like, well, what if they are? If is not true. If is a thought. If it's a figment of your imagination. And besides that, because they doing it, that means you need to lower your standards and your integrity to do things. Like, no, we're not gonna lower my standards, my integrity, or my character. I gotta live with me. Once you start down that slippery slope, honey, it just becomes a bad habit. Cheat on one, you cheat on everybody. So don't. Walk away feeling good about yourself that you didn't succumb to the BS, versus thinking like, look what they made me do. Nobody make you do nothing. You chose to do it. You made the choice. Or you could choose to be cool and just be like, no. And make them always look back and think, damn, I messed that up. Yeah, you did. Much better feelings. Okay? Now, Judgment card here to the 4 of Wands in reverse. between the Four of Wands being in reverse is you staying true and faithful, okay, in spite of your challenges here. You staying true and faithful and know what you want and what you all are building. And no matter what anyone is saying to you or trying to tempt you to do, you know the facts and you know this person is in it for you, okay? You may have people that are saying, well, you have no idea what they're doing, blah, 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 blah. This person really wants to talk to you. You'll be surprised how many people are jealous and they come out of the woodworks during the process of when people are separated, especially when someone is off doing something that's going to make you guys better. And they don't have anyone in their life that's fighting for them. Not just fighting for them to keep them alive, but fighting for them to thrive. That they've really met someone that's about them and about that life and that are locked in. Most people know that you two are going to, if you're not already engaged, you'll be engaged, you'll be married, that this person is going off and creating skills and resources so that they can take care of you. They can build, that you guys can build a family. And most people don't have this going on. And so you're going to have a lot of people, your friends, there'll be family, loved ones that are speaking negatively about it. Well, you can't always be thinking about this and, you're putting your life on hold. You're not putting your life on hold for nobody. You're not putting your life on hold. This life is growth. What if they come back and they change and they don't want to be with you anymore? That's why with that Hermit card energy, you're going to be reflecting and doing something and making yourself better too, while you have this time. Positive distractions, not negative ones. Okay. All right. So potential outcome here. 4 best cards, please, divine, for potential outcome. Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Moon card. Upright. Eight of Pentacles. And let's see. The High Priestess in reverse. Self-reflection. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Whatever this person, remember, spoke earlier about all the gifts that I used to receive, and sometimes still do, from my former husband. This person is going to be lavishing you with things, okay? For instance, you'll go to the mailbox, you'll get packages, some things will be really there'll be little thoughtful things. You'll wake up with money in your account, whatever the case may be. Don't tell nobody about that. Don't. Remember, we just discussed early on about people are going to try to pull you guys apart. They're going to come in innocently and be trying. I'm concerned for it, but really there's an ulterior motive there. They're projecting. What you have is a real true blue situation going on. Don't let anyone defile that for you. So with that Page of Pentacles in reverse, the gifts, the thought, the things that you were receiving from them, do not speak on that. For instance, let's say they gave you let's say you go out with your girlfriends, and when I was my former husband, I used to get an allotment, right? So on top of whatever I work and did, I got money on top of that he would send to me every month, automatically drop in my account. Don't make the mistake of telling anybody about that. If you have access to their bank account, you got a debit card, credit card on their stuff, don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. That's between you and your partner. No one needs to know about that. Whatever they're gifting you, giving you, whatever the case may be, unless it's just so obvious that you cannot, that can happen. But in most cases, keep that to yourself. That's between you, them, and God, okay? Because other people are not as happy. They're not happy, and so it's impossible for them to be happy for you and to support you. Now, there are some that are true blue, and with that, they are, and you know who they are, because they already know you're well taken care of, because they more than likely are well taken care of themselves. And they also have a wonderful partnership. Those are the people you want to hang out with. Those who are lonely and always going through some problems and stay away from them. Stay away from them naysayers, okay? They tear you apart, and then walk away and lead the vultures to pick your bones dry. Now, the Moon card in the upright and the Eight of Pentacles. And this is the path that you guys are on right now. And Remember that the moon, the sun is going to rise here. So right now you're on the process, and you're moving forward emotionally. You're not quite sure of how you're going to handle everything, but all you need to do is stay in prayer, stay focused on what you guys are doing, making sure that you're being honest and supportive in your communication. Um, letting them know that it's a challenge for you, but it's going to be worth it. Like, again, those things are going to fuel their fire when they're at their lonely moments, when they're tough, because for whatever reason it feels like they're kind of, this is the energy of someone that's going to be working, but they're going to be a little bit isolated. Like, they're not going to be just like moving about freely the way that they want, just out, just, they really are focused with this Eight of Pentacles here, as well as you are too. Keeping count of the days, making sure that you're filling your days with things that are going to make you better and prepare you for what the abundance that's coming in from them, right? So that you can really receive them and be open, because you also have been doing things that have been opening your mind and broadening your horizons. So sometimes, when someone comes back or they do something great, they come back and they're telling you all these stories, you can sometimes become apprehensive, or like, oh my God, how many times am I going to hear about this? Like, no, it won't be that, because you'll both be expressing excitement and for things that you're doing. Now, you may want to keep your stuff on the low and not tell them, so that that'll be a pleasant surprise for them. For instance, like, say you wanted to, why it's coming to me like that, but something like you want to get your real estate license while they're away. They're doing something highly trained and skilled, so you go off and say, I'm going to get my real estate license. Yeah, I'm going to get my real estate license while they're gone. And not tell them about it. And then when they come back, like, well, guess what I did while you were gone? What? Bam! Pop out that little, like, wow, oh my, why'd you tell me? I wanted to surprise you. Like something like that, okay? And then the High Priestess, again, you'll be getting a lot of divine information, intuition, interpretation, dreams, everything. Make sure you maintain and keep those things private. The outer world, this is not the time. You guys have to build your own language, your own universe. That's what you're doing. Stay focused on that. You're building. You're in the construction phase, okay? You got to stay focused. Make sure those measurements are right. Make sure the materials are the top, are at the best that you can afford and find. Okay, the best of the best. So there's no one to talk about this, because no one's going to understand what you're on. Okay, just speaking frankly. So just make sure that you stay focused, and you rely on those you have already gone through this and been successful about it. And if you don't have that in your circle, just journal, talk to the divine, get close with God, and do your thing. Okay, because it's only up from here. All right. All right, my dear Taurus. Hope the messages were of help to you. I appreciate you. And remember, back then is not now. Always be in harmony with your surroundings. Stay sucker free. Hope to see you again.